Big shout out to the VIP guys. It's London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. Welcome to the stream, guys. It's not going to be a real long stream. We just want to hit the technicals very quickly. Okay, we have been kind of known for really pinpointed accuracy in terms of the technicals. So shout out to the VIP top level of membership. You guys know it. We didn't stream last night. Wanted the price action to develop a bit more here, and it's exciting to see exactly what we've been working with. I have the daily right now in terms of this falling wedge here. Bitcoin has broken out of that on the daily. That's the big kind of, guys, the upfront and centers. We have broken out of this on the daily, all right? So in terms of that, I use that expression somewhat hesitantly. We have broken out. Why? Because in the midst, guys, in the last 80 days or so in this retracement, we have literally broken out, quote unquote, multiple times. So the fact that we would just say, well, we've broken out, it's time for entry. Guys, I want you guys to just be prepared for the fact that this may fit squarely within the, I'd say within the construct of the last, how many guys? How many breakouts have we had? Unfortunately, in the last 80 days, that have just been they've just been spoil alerts more than they have been breakout alerts. So I don't want it to be another spoil for anyone who wants to get involved in the price action. Definitely, it's all up to you. But the nice thing was, guys, we had those lower targets. So we want to shout out to Freddie, our VIP champ of January. Freddie, only one more day left. You're gonna have to pull up you're gonna have to pull it up for the next month here. We're gonna have to see what is going to happen with February. But yeah, Freddie just challenged into some really nice territory, and just he won the championship. I want to show it real quickly. Not sure he is around. He may be sleeping for work. I don't know. But Freddie, nice trophy, nice VIP in the back, guys. You're doing great. Looking forward to a great 2022. Now, in terms of this. All right, we would be a little bit more bullish, I'd say, if we hadn't been just rejected at each and every turn, right? It's just been like that. The two things that have that Bitcoin currently has going in its favor. We can talk about that to kind of reframe. And I know people, a lot of people are just like London. I don't care. You get to the point you don't care about the technicals. You don't want to worry about that. You only want to focus. It's like, when is it going up, right? They don't have the time. They don't want to focus. Well, the market has a good way of weeding that type of a mindset out. I just want to let you guys know. And we were around during this entire portion here, so I'm used to hearing people and seeing people get frustrated, and they don't have the time for the technicals, and that's it, and they're gone. And it's a very small group that's in the back. I'll tell you that winds up catching this at 29,750. So to the extent that that same, kind of the drag that the market has upon people. I understand that. That's part of what the market does to people, and I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm bulletproof from it, but that's we've just experienced it a lot, and in my lifetime, I've seen it quite a bit. So I'm just not. I'm not real concerned, right? If that crowd comes and goes, that's okay. That's okay. If they show up and then they just kind of disappear, well, that's okay, right? We're not going anywhere. So that's a nice mentality for you guys to just hold fast to in terms of your own approach to the market. Don't be one of the flighty here then gone. Don't do that, guys. You will pick up more if you're alert and attentive. I know some people who missed this in the back, the 29,750, missed this area here, and even missed this area here, right? And you can definitely make it up once the trend starts to really go, but you're never going to you're never going to get back that specific period in here. Let's say that 29,750 is not going on the nameplate. It wouldn't go on the trophy. In terms of next month, maybe, who knows? Whoever does the great move for February, maybe we'll put something like that on the trophy, right? Maybe we'll give it a name or something cool like that. Who knows? As we continue to focus on the technicals to beat the market, you guys understand. Bitcoin has a few things going in its favor. Let's cover that real quickly. There is the ascending triangle, okay, that I'd like to see develop with this line of resistance, multiple hits, resistance, just kind of textbook, guys. But we would like to see a little bit more conformance, right, from the actual candle wicks to the actual lines. Now, on the lines, we're not far off in terms of that flat top resistance that we need to see. We're close enough that, yeah, I would say that it would be possible that we could see the move up from here. That would be an interesting move, guys. You need to pay attention to the possibility that could occur. Let's go ahead in here. And I told guys, if you want to know exactly what Bitcoin has going in its favor right now, it's going to be. I mentioned quite a bit. The trend is your friend, right? If you guys know that simple simple indicator that I brought to y'all's attention, right? Just it's a simple indicator. Go ahead and use it. I take away the background noise on it, etc. But it's going to show you the 200 and the 100. Okay, is it the 100 weekly? Yeah, the 100 weekly. Do you guys want to see that real quickly? Let's flip over to the 100 weekly. Let me see if I can find this on one of my charts here, and I want to show you guys what I think that Bitcoin definitely has going in its favor right now. First of all, being what? Well, first of all, being there we go. And I brought this up to the VIP when we were just stuck on this 100 weekly. This orange line here is the 100 weekly average. I'm on the weekly chart, so you can see that just got hit. Okay, and as we look at that, that's one of the things that Bitcoin currently has going for it. I'll just say currently has going for it. That as well as another component that makes it a bit more attractive. It just squared off into its 50% retracement. Okay, so in line with this 100 weekly average. Okay, the 100 weekly average. We're also, really highly aware of the fact that we just slam dunked into that 50% retracement, and not just the 50% retracement, but also a level just below that, which is really nice because we nailed that level below it, guys. We just absolutely did. I don't know anyone else anywhere, guys, who had this level 33,734, who had a lower level here. And it was just like, it's just been interesting because from our standpoint we hit it. I know our group was just like focused on it. That was our level. And when I see other groups talk, they act like it never even happened. Or if I talk to someone and I know they didn't get it, well, I know it because they act like it never happened. I'm like, no, that was a big move down. We we were structured for that. We were prepared for that. So shout out to all the VIPs. Shout out to Angel on top. Hope you're doing well. Angel had a good chat with you yesterday about shopping TA. Shopping TA, yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a very interesting conversation to hear his input on that. He is just absolutely never kind of guy, just in terms, so that you guys know, in terms of shopping TA. He does not believe in shopping TA. He knows we set the standard, and it was just really reconfirming to hear that. Angel, thanks for that conversation. It meant a lot to me. I want to let you know that. It meant a lot to me. So in terms of that, let the VIP know in the back. We're going to be streaming a little bit, going to be talking a little bit. I've been waiting for price action. I was excited to see this move up here. If you guys have the other, let's see if I can get into, and you guys have it. This is the thing with all the VIP, you guys have in the back, you have all the charts. You have, I know that, but you have the essentially that consolidation. We're just chart. Let me just finish that thought. The consolidation chart that we were going over, and let's see what we have here. Boom, 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 boom. I want to restructure back into. Let me bring up an entirely blind copy, okay, because I wind up putting so many different indicators, guys. You can always go back to, and we'll see what's moving right now. What's moving? Link is up. That's nice to see. Link, if it could be resurrected, that would be cool. I'd like that. Mana's doing well. You guys know the three hits that we had recently in terms of those pricing targets. C98 we had mentioned. The Frac shares went very well, as we're kind of a mixed market right now as we go into. Let me go into Bitcoin, see if we can pull up and resurrect a chart. It may not let me. That's fine. If that chart is gone, it's gone. If it's not, here we go. It's actually going to resurrect it for me. That's very nice. If you guys ever lose a chart, I know that was annoying to watch on the screen. If you ever lose a chart, just go ahead and drop into a brand new tab, a reload of your trading view. Okay, do that, and then sometimes it will reload that maybe that one chart that you have lost. So I will go ahead and get rid of some of these other charts because this is the one that we have been focused on. So this is the one I've talked about with VIP. This is one that was the lead in on the I'd say the prior. We're down prior charts down about 2.28. Okay, down 0.28% to about 38,000 flat. Not bad. Also, have to shout out, guys, to Freddie. Okay, he's not only the champ for January, but he also is in, I think he's still in, I don't know, guys, a 5L position on Bitcoin. Very nice. Now, I know Freddie. Okay, I know Freddie. He pays attention to the crowd. Okay, he pays attention to, kind of what is being said, what to do. Just part of his background. I think maybe mining, maybe something like that. Maybe he keeps his ear close to the I don't know, to the framework or what's going on in the market. He pays a lot of attention to them. In terms of like a real level of resistance, and I get into this like and I don't want to discount a level of resistance. I don't want to do that, guys. But I do want to just caution, we have broken the quote-unquote level of resistance. Like, 8 times. Okay, so not to be frustrated. Okay, how many times did we quote unquote break it here? Don't even ask, guys. Don't even ask how many times during this consolidation in the 30,000s. How many times we quote unquote broke resistance. Okay, so yeah, in the context of that, I don't want to throw it out the door. If I'm a little touchy over the idea of breaking a resistance, just understand it's just kind of where the market's at. Okay, so we're prepared to go lower. The good news is, guys, in line with this, I had brought up this kind of this arrowhead function, just a consolidation here, and it's just really nice to see the price action just go straight up the line here. Let's go to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, just really hug that line in terms of creating this buyer support. I wanted to see the buyers step in, and it looks like that's happening. I'm reading about some Portnoy from Barstool Funds, etc. I think bought $1 million dollars in Bitcoin. Okay. Shout out to Jason's Lit. Jason's, what is up? Just want to say hi. I saw you on the deal there, and I wanted to say hi. When I see your picture scroll through, sometimes I'll just say shout out to Jason's Lit. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to all you guys. I hope you're doing well. Now, in terms of this, we are not necessarily exclusive from the rest of the investment community in that when it goes, we want to go large, right? That's kind of the idea of the idea of the entirety of the market, right? You want to maximize your return. So when you find something, I'd say this: when we find something that's a highly probable move, okay, because and this in here is interesting for us to look at. We have discussed multiple times this, and I have this level laid out here in terms of that actual quote unquote resistance. Okay, I'm going to say that quote unquote resistance because, guys, it has been beaten. There have been multiple lines of resistance that have been beaten. I really prefer right now. It might even be even more technically accurate right now to focus on moving averages. Let's focus on the moving averages here, okay? In terms of that, on the 4 hourly, we have the 200 in purple, we have the 100 in orange. Those have just acted as, if you want to call it, a resistance, kind of and think of resistance as, let's do this. Think of resistance as kind of a twofold situation. It is both potentially repelled by and it's attracted to. That's something that most people don't think, but when you're looking at an entry, it's like, well, where would I want to enter? Well, a lot of times the resistance may imply that, yes, it's being repelled, the price is being repelled from that level, but it's also somehow it's getting to that level. Okay, so do consider that in terms of the overall entirety of your trade game. It's like, well, yes, the price has to get there to be rejected. So if you will think of that, and it's going to depend upon whether or not you're shorting or longing, whether or not you're with the trend or against the trend. And if you want to pull out some micro-framed lines of resistance, etc., there are a variety of ways to do that. You guys know that everywhere from a previous intermittent low, right, to a structured pattern, to a moving average, to, we can keep going along the line there. But in terms of this specific, and this is what I like, because we had drawn out the descending wedge a couple of times last week. And shout out to Luke. Luke, what's up, brother? I know you're paying attention to the technicals big time. Shout out to AJ Crypto too. AJ, I got your text, and yes, next week sounds great to catch up. Look forward to that. Absolutely. I can't wait to catch up with you. I hope everything is going well. As we would look at at this falling wedge, line of support roughly indicated. Okay, I'm going to say it has this level of deviation around December 3rd. I believe that's right. Yeah, December 3rd was that big pour down event here. So it gives us a bit of variability in terms of this structured line of support, okay, technical support. It's going to push a bit, and when you push that necessarily, it's going to really invite a lot of variability in terms of where this is actually going to formulate in terms of this the slope of the line of support. So you wind up going from the candle wick to, the process is from the candle wick to the lines. Okay, we go to the lines, and then depending upon which line, or I'd say which time frame you're going to have a variability there as well. So that's kind of been the name of the game during the retracement. Has been real tricky trading. It has rewarded people who've been willing to double down at lower levels, things like that. Just standard practicum. You guys know that. So as we would look at this, the thing that I like, and I'm really excited to really focus on just for a bit tonight, and we don't have to go real late into the wee hours, etc. I think Freddie fell asleep. I was excited to show his video again, but I don't blame him for being tired, or anybody. It's the weekend, guys. Maybe you have stuff to do in the morning, etc. So that's okay. As I was just thinking of what to talk about, though, really this specific pattern and the return to. We talk about the return to function. What does that mean? Well, we have a a falling wedge, right? We have this support, we have the resistance, okay? And again, the resistance, because there's multiple lines of resistance throughout here, on into and including when I talk about, because I don't want to talk about we're breaking through the resistance, right? You start to get into this. Well, there's another line of resistance right here between these two lines. Any two lines, okay? Any two pivots, essentially, guys, technically are going to qualify as a support or resistance. So you're going to find them all over in your charts, okay? There's going to be some primary and some secondary in line with these additional, those additional structures there in terms of the prior pivots, providing us with some additional obstacles or hurdles. Yeah, those are there. Okay, let's go ahead and we can draw those there for now, and that's on that specific time frame. So that's going to also have some variety to it, and not that there's just an ever-ending, a never-ending, order of or set of resistances. That's not the idea, okay? But as we would look at, is it a clean, a clear cut? Because on the daily, excuse me, on the daily we are up and out, right? On the daily, and let me see if I still have that chart out because I do like that chart. That is Luna. Luna having some trouble with Anchor Protocol. That's rough, huh? What is up with Luna and Anchor Protocol? Do you guys know what's going on? I'd like to know what's going on, huh? What's up with Mr. Quando? Not sure what's going on, Mr. We'll get into Mr. Whom or whoever it may be. I'm not sure what's going on with Luna, but I heard some bad news about Luna. I didn't like that news. Okay, so in terms of that, an Anchor Protocol, and I'll educate myself better on it before I start naming names. How about that? Before I really start getting into it and start naming names, I'll really educate myself on that issue. I think that's fair enough. So before I really start naming names. Okay, so as we look in this, I just want it to be good for our traders, and if it's not, if something else happened, I don't want the VIP to get hurt at all, financially or otherwise. I don't want that to happen. Just in terms of trading aspect, mentality, right, strategy, and kind of the focus for the momentum they have for 2020, 2022. So. Yeah, it's a psychological game, and I don't touch our traders, right? Not with some Anchor Protocol, nonsense. We don't want to get into that, so we'll talk about that later. Again, just kind of making a joke if I'm going to name names, but yeah, that's it. As we would talk about this specific level here, we have returned to. Okay, I've gone through, and I've told the VIP, I've gone through probably what, guys? Shout out to Richard. What's up, Richard? Hope you're doing well, brother. We've gone through at least, I'd say, 100 of these. Okay, I've gone through an empirical data set of at least 100, if not more than 100, in terms of Bitcoin on this specific feature here, in terms of a breakout and down away from the support, guys, the support line of the falling wedge. We have just looked at them. I've looked at least 100 of them. I'll tell you that. And of the 100, I'd say conformance between 95 and 99%. Don't tuck that in your back pocket like, oh, here we go, we're going to go large on the next one. That's just the data set that I've seen. And it was funny because I had been through about 100 of them in terms of empirically looking at them. And, it's not, I'm not scientifically studying them, but, we're really getting in terms of, trade detail analytics on the most professional level that I can provide. And that says that I'm doing my best at it, okay? And that's a high level and threshold that I say that on anything, and that's the truth. So as I would look at the hundreds that I had looked at, it was they were live pricing, they were go-to kind of plays, and yeah, they did recover. And it was just funny because just as Murphy's rule or Murphy's law, whatever it would be, I brought it to the VIP. You guys remember this? And the first one I brought to VIP didn't do it. I'm like, wouldn't that just be it? I was like, okay, it's not 100%. I'll tell you that because I've been through 100 of them. I guess maybe I've been through 99. Maybe it's 100 to 1. Okay, fine. But that's just how the market goes, right? As soon as I have the genie in the box, the perfect trade, the setup, these work, right? And then, of course, well, maybe they don't work. So we've seen two of them work recently live over the past couple of weeks as we streamed live. That is the truth. We've also seen, this would be the third one that we're able to throw into the live stream mix, and nobody else is covering this stuff, guys. Nobody else is trading enough to where they're actually paying attention to these issues and can call it out like, we've traded hundreds of them, right, and say that. We've traded, I mean, no one's saying that, okay? That's because we trade more than anybody else. I'll just tell you that. In terms of the overall group, that's what we do. We like to trade. Angel brought up a good distinction. I like that, Angel. Appreciated that distinction in terms of investing versus trading. And I know that you have been doing a little bit of both, and maybe focusing on one more than the other, maybe depending upon market conditions, as volatility would allow you to do that. So yeah, I look forward to bringing more of that level of insight and knowledge to the community. I think that would be beneficial to everybody. They would look forward to that in terms of your opinions on that. You've had a lot of success in that area, and I know that they would appreciate that. They would, yeah, that would be a neat thing to be able to hear a little bit more about that from you. So anyway, as we would look at the difference between investing and trading, right? So as we look at this, the recapture or this return to function, it's just good for us, guys, and I don't mean that like, oh, good for you, good for us. I just mean it's something that if you're not paying attention to what we're doing, it is important. Okay, it is very important, and I would appreciate you guys slapping the like button as well. I haven't asked you guys to do that, but if you'd like to, that'd be great. And yeah, just let's you know, you guys can tell me if you can shout out in the. And I know I started late, about 1 a.m. I'm willing to stay up through the evenings, mornings, etc., and stay real focused on the market. So I know a lot of you, maybe it doesn't accommodate your schedule, etc. But these are the hours where I particularly care to dig into the market. I just do. I really care to dig into the market. This is when, you know, Asia's up. I know it's the weekend, etc. But what I'll say is it's just you know, guys, it's just this is when the rubber meets the road, right? When you look at our pricing targets, just bam, bam. When you look at the return to function into the wedge, bam. It's just we couldn't really ask for much more as a channel or as a group, right? In terms of like what could have happened, we could be right here in price. I'll tell you, we have two pricing targets. We have a failure and a fallout from a falling wedge. We've talked about the return to function. We got two pricing targets below. Like ideally 100% ideally, that's what we would love to happen, right? Every one of us would say, yeah, can you hit both pricing targets? That's what we would probably say. I mean, is there a way you could hit both pricing targets and then go back into? I mean, that's just ideal. So we couldn't really ask for much more in terms of technical conformance. I don't know what else to really, honestly, I'm fine in terms of how this has worked out, what the technicals have been presented to you, etc. Like I'm happy, I'm satisfied with this. I don't think that in terms of having the pricing targets below, boom, 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 boom. In terms of having a return to function, perfect. In terms of even having like this green line that it decided just to kind of march on up, boom, 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 boom. We've had that as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool, guys. That's as exciting as I can say. That's as perfect as I'd like to see things, you know, flesh themselves out. So what we will do is I will try and get in touch with Angel here in the next couple of days and try and see kind of what his schedule is like and when he might want to stream, what he might like to do, because I may hit this at an erratic time. It may be a little bit early, a little bit late, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, to the extent that that he is busy or you guys are asleep or something like that, and I'm just up watching technicals, you know, that's okay. But I know that you guys have to rewatch this. Some guys do rewatch it, and yeah, I just want to make sure that you hit your targets. I just tell you that, guys, hit your targets in terms of like going forward on this. Like, this is a pretty picture. This is beautiful. If you hit your targets. It's not very beautiful if you don't hit your targets, right? We had these targets, and one was the 50% retracement. Okay, cool. No big deal. Everybody's going to hit that target, London. Yeah, okay, great. You got that. Copy that. What about the second one? Boom. That's our target. All right. Nobody else had that target. So, bam, that's our target. And the return to function. Who else has that? Nobody. Nobody else has that return to function. Right up into that falling wedge. Beautiful. Love to see it. Okay, so this kind of just, I don't know, it's exciting for us to see that in terms of the overall, you know, the play out of the price action. It's just nice. You can't always predict where it's going when you've got a setup to capture it and do well. That's just, that's what we want. So if anybody has anything to say in the, and I don't know, some guys may be busy. It's Saturday night too. I didn't think of that. Yeah, guys may be out having a good time. If you guys are doing that, congratulations. That's a nice thing to be able to do. Anyone else in the shout out in the community tab or whatnot if you'd like to chat for a second. Otherwise, I get back in the DM with a VIP. I know a few guys back there. I'm sure Steve is up. What's up, Steve? How you doing, Steve? How you doing, Angel? What's up? I don't think Angel missed a live stream last year. I don't think he could miss a live stream. So hope you're doing well. And let's see what else we got. In terms of this, it's just a nice move. Let's go ahead and measure from our bottom side pricing target. And we did get some push beyond it, which is expected to a degree. But yeah, we're back up to that 13%. We maxed out at 15%, over 15% from that specific level. And that target that we had given was 33,724. And what we're going to say here, a lot of us were just, waiting for this thing, and it just kept crawling. I stayed bullish on it, and I'll tell you, a lot of that had to do with Freddie. I don't know if you guys know that, but Freddie, our champ for January, he literally, he got into, and it was, I won't say it was late, but it was in a position here, and I'm like, okay, Freddie wants to go 5L. All right, let's go bull. Let's do this. And this is kind of what VIP brings. This is the community. Let me get a sip of coffee real quickly. Thank you. So as I would look at this, it helps in the bag that Freddie decided to go long right here. I'm like, okay, Freddie. Now, it also helped that we had done the studies on this, in terms of empirically looking for a recapture into this specific falling wedge. And it's the guys that are paying attention. Freddie checked in yesterday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 6. I take a power nap. I'm up at 6 from whenever I went to bed. I'm back up at 6. I look in there, and Freddie says 4 a.m. check-in. In the VIP DM in the back, and that's our rooms where we're always throwing around technicals, charts, etc. Shout out to Freddie, just boom. What's up, brother? How you doing? What's up, Freddie? He's our January champ. So as we look at this is our back room. We're always sharing charts, etc., going over details. And I saw that, and I woke up at 6 a.m. I'm like, if that guy ain't going to beat the market, I'm going to tell you, I don't know who is. I just flat out front and center at 4 a.m. Here's my 4 a.m. check-in. Bam, bam. Into the DM restricted zone back there. I'm like, that's why Freddie's winning. It's because he's on it. He's not missing a beat. So it was nice to see Freddie go long right in this area to challenge up through. And it was, again, let me see where this was, 37.6 in and around this area. I think it was right after we got back into the wedge. So that we'll look back on that. Freddie, you can correct me tomorrow, and I'll get with you tomorrow and see exactly when you got back into that 5L position. I know you successfully traded it, and I'll just talk about, guys, he's doing great. He successfully traded a long position here, a short position here, and a long position here. So that's, what else can you ask? Very, very nicely done. Just streamline technicals in terms of what I see from him. Very solid technicals, and it's nice to see those play out for the whole group in the back, guys. It's cool. He's nailing it, and that's he's got a lot of history in trading in more in crypto. He's got a great background in crypto, and I'll just show him off again. What's up, Freddie? I'm just gonna keep saying that because he's supposed to be here. I don't know what happened to him. He may just crash out. He said he was suffering from sleep deprivation. I don't doubt it at all. I literally don't doubt it at all. He was up at 4 a.m., etc. So I know when those mornings come early, right? Then you got to go do other stuff. So, Bitcoin up about 0.1% to 38,200. And, we keep kind of thinking, I know you're all kind of thinking this, well, we might get some volatility. This is just going on. I know if you trade a lot, you're thinking this like, well, we might get a little volatility towards this area, right? We might want to carve along this area, right? So it's in everybody's mind right now because it is defying gravity. We had a retracement pull back to the 50%. I think that was the 50% in this area. I'll go ahead and remeasure that so we can go ahead and look at it. I think on the whole of it, it was a 50 to a 65th, depending upon where you measured it from. Close to this 65th here, depending upon whether or not you're on the lines or the candle wicks. On the candle wicks, we got to the 50%, just beyond it, probably about to that 60 or so. And as we're all looking at this and watching this climb this line here, this green line that I had indicated, it's like, all right, that's kind of the optimal trajectory in terms of it. That's the optimal trajectory that we would see in terms of the price just recovering back into the wedge. But it's just not always that friendly. I'll just say that Bitcoin has not been this friendly in a while. So what we're looking at right now is a much more friendly representation in terms of Bitcoin. If you guys have been trading a lot or not, in terms of it being too late or not, I'll just say, hey, it's been nice for the people trading it recently, and it's been nice to see VIP booking those trades in terms of that. It's just nice, and would like to hear from all of you guys in terms of exactly what are you booking? What are you trading? What's your focus been? I know a lot of people on Sandbox have done well recently. Had a great hit on its Golden Pocket. Also FXS Golden Pocket. Loopring went a little bit past, then went really crazy. Shout out to Richard for bringing that up in our VIP group. Let's see what else we have. AXS has been quiet. It's nice to see AXS doing a little something. Just a little something. You just see it small little baby moves along these retracements. Like AXS has been known for nice price movements along the way up. But it feels like AXS is a good one to look at because it feels like the market is just very much in this zone, okay? Very much in this zone. We've had a run up in price, and it's time for retracement. It's time for macro retracement. Doge is one as well. It's just time for macro retracement, right? Huge run up. Now it's just time for a macro retracement. SHIB, the same, right? Well, nice run up, but it's just time for macro retracement. And I feel like so many of the coins are in that zone. Right, let's look at Mana. Mana is getting some price action. It's nice to see it with some price action because it's just been nice move to the upside and then just retracement. So we're not seeing Phantom has been an exception. Phantom has been a great exception. We're keeping an eye on a potential, depending on the time frame, for an ascending triangle. Love to see that play out. Ethereum with a pretty heavy retracement, okay? Call that at 43,052. Sorry, 43. Every time I do that with Ethereum, 4,000, pardon me, 4,000. Wouldn't that be great if it were 43,000? 4,000. Every time I introduce Ethereum, I do that. Pardon me. 4,352, okay? So was excited to bring that to everybody's attention. About 40% to go. But yeah, that would have saved you about 50% if you had paid attention to those technicals. That monthly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Absolutely. And we got a head nod from, what did we get a head nod from? From Elliott Wave International on that one. So that was nice, institutional. And I don't like to be boring with things. I just don't. That's not the idea. But when the people are, when they're together with the New York Institute of Finance and they're together with the stock market, and the stock market's together with the Federal Reserve on this study or that study, it's like I'm going to pay attention. I just am, and it would be just ignorant at some point for me not to. So the fact that we got the head nod on this specific 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a like on Twitter. It does not indicate endorsement. I'll tell you that. I'm sure it doesn't. I know that, but it was nice to get them their indication into yes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Ethereum that I brought it to 4,352 was on par in terms of that fifth wave being completed on the monthly. We'll see where it goes from there. Okay, so in terms of that, it's that's just it's nice to interact with professionals on that level. It just is. That's the bottom line. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was nice to catch it. But that's another one in terms of just kind of this macro retrace feeling. It's a little bit distinct. We can go to dusk. I got to get a little bit more coffee. 1 second, please. That's nice coffee. So sorry about that. Just had to get a little bit of coffee. Look at Dusk. Dusk is kind of like Phantom, different category. We'd love to see Dusk. And it's interesting. Dusk has a little bit different feel to it. You guys, I don't know if you see this. Let's see this. Look at Dusk real quickly and look at, let me get on to Bitcoin and let's put Bitcoin next to Dusk. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we at on Bitcoin? There we go. All right. Now, let's see this. Now, I've got the right screen here. Let me go ahead and take this. Take that off. As we would look at, let's go to the monthly. Maybe we go to the daily. Dusk is very representative right now of where Bitcoin is. I really feel that right now. They're very similar. When I pulled up the Dusk chart, I was very surprised because Dusk has been moving very much a lot quicker, right? Let me pull that over. Yeah, Bitcoin's on the right, Dusk is on the left, okay? Dusk has been moving more quickly. Dusk went through this framework within a period of weeks here. It took a period of months for Bitcoin on the right to go through this. So I like the fact that we have somewhat of a layover on Dusk and on Bitcoin. I'm going to be watching Dusk to see how Dusk treats this situation. Now we do have a little bit of a lower low here instead of a higher low thus far, but just given the overall indications in terms of the similarities, comparatives, I want to be watching Dusk with that in mind to where maybe it can show us a bit of what Bitcoin might do. Now, there's no correlative. Let me just say that there is no correlative in terms of like the two the two coins at all. I wouldn't say, well, there's a need to correlate them aside from the pure technicals on the price action. Just understand that there's no deal going down. There's no, nothing else to be really to read into that situation other than the fact that I really noticed that they had similar price patterns. So I do that. I always find it comparable if I can. It's okay. Well, that's a possibility. If nothing more, it will. I'd say it can kind of spread the parameters in terms of what the possibilities are for you as you look at price action. This I have said is an ideal return to the falling wedge. Absolutely is. We have looked at hundreds of these, I'd say over 100 falling wedges, particularly on Bitcoin it is very, very expected at this point. 95%, etc. Guys, I've seen about 95% of them return too. Now, I'll say this within that statement. A wedge that starts looking like this, you're going to have a different percentage in terms of the steepness of it, how conformant is the wedge with the overall expectations, etc. That's going to give you some variety of results. I'll just definitely tell you that of the data set thus far. So as we would look at, let's see, any other coins that we just have to touch on? What do we got? ADA? Not really. We don't have to touch on ADA. We don't have to touch on anything particularly. Phantom's done well. Luna at the 50%. Mana reacting well to its hits. Matic. Where is Matic and what has it decided to do? Mirroring quite well the pattern and framework of Bitcoin. You see that? It's just almost exact with what Bitcoin is deciding to do right now. So very well correlated. You just see that, right? Just very well. Just almost a perfect layover. Matic really fell out of that top level. We didn't want to see that. I don't want to see Rose beat Matic. Why? Because we have such a good history with Matic. We just do. And I want to, and I brought Rose up too while it was going up this year, so I should say with Rose as well. So, just Rose has maintained, well, I say I don't want it to beat Matic. Rose just looks really nice, okay, in terms of maintaining this structure thus far. And it turns into something that you look at and you're like, and you guys can research what Rose is. When we talk about a different coin, I don't like that coin. You'll probably say, I don't like that coin. I don't pay attention to that coin. Hey, we pay attention to technicals, man. If I see a bull flag, on a coin, I just, I really don't like that management team that much. I really, I'm going to tell you guys, if it's that's a little too much of a meme coin for me. Well, we're going to trade a bull flag. Here we look at technicals. That's what we do. So when I see conformance like this on a pattern structure like Rose, yeah, and when something's flying up and the market is tanking and let's say Rose is flying through the roof, yeah, we're going to pay attention here without a doubt. We are, we focus on alpha, the percentage by which we're able to beat the market. Shout out to Kent. Kent Gifford, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. VIP in the house from Santa Barbara. I hope he's doing well. Kent, hope the family's doing well. Daniel, I hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're back from Iraq. I want to hear about that for all the U.S. servicemen and women, etc. Hope you guys are, doing well in 2022. That goes for Jason and Kuda and everybody. In terms of Ambrosio, what's up, brother? Let's talk about, we'd like to see Rose pick up on that line of support. Absolutely. This is an interesting chart. And I cannot we wanted to talk about wanting something to really pick up more than it did. Harmony 1 could have been really nice with this flat top structure here. Why? Because that's required for an ascending triangle. Now we barely are still holding on to the notion of an ascending line of support. Barely. Right? It's just like, Harmony, how could you do this to people? And I warn people all the time. They're washing out long positions. But look at that. 55% to the downside. Barely a hiccup. Bam. What else did this? Near protocol. I got that warning message out on Near. If you guys watch that video on Near looked just like Harmony 1. Bam, bam. Just both of them just striking down through a 50% retracement. Like it's just nothing. Just no problem. Here you go. Here's 50%, just washing out all of those long positions, right? You guys know that. So in terms of this, still holding on to the idea of an ascending line of support is important because the ascending triangle is one of the most bullish patterns that we can achieve. It starts to remind me a little bit of Dirk, D-E-R-C. If you guys know Dirk, the NFT, I brought that to VIP last year, and I hope some people made some money on it in line with some of the other new listings, some of those new NFT projects that I brought to the VIP. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys made some money on those while you could. So 71% potentially to the upside. The interesting thing could, if Harmony 1 could pick up from the current position to that 72, let's see, no, 277, not 272, but 277% potential to the upside. That's if it can take from this level. And again, what I'd like to see typically on something like this would be a little bit more of an ascension, a little bit more of a structured pattern in terms of this line of support that's a little bit more angled up, right? It feels like we just kind of collapsed through that level, and we kind of collapsed here. That was understandable, right? But then we really have pushed through that here. So not that it can't be saved, but that 250% move would be beautiful. would be really nice. Okay, so and watch that leverage. I'll just tell you, watch those 5L, 3Ls, whatever you're on, and watch the different time frames. Because on the 4 hourly, we have a flat top on one, right? We have a flat top on one. 4 hourly on the daily looks like it's giving us a descending, right? I am of the opinion that should not happen on our technicals, right? If you understand the technicals really well, you understand why I'm making that statement in terms of the variability. Things like that, like we just shouldn't see them. We see them way too frequently in the markets. So, anyway, let's just talk about Rose. Yes, like to see it pick up. Sand, huge hit from the Golden Pocket. And they have this new Snoop Dogg avatar, avatar business in terms of their whatever. He has the new avatars, the new deal they just did with Sandbox. Very interesting to see him plug into crypto the way he is. I think not Tom Brady, LeBron James also just inked a deal with Crypto.com. So it's nice to see the big stars getting more involved in crypto. So yeah, Sandbox. And the easy thing is, well, you didn't know that news was coming out. Well, you knew the Golden Pocket was right there. So that's a nice move from the Golden Pocket. Let's just measure that up, and boom. Almost 40% now from the Golden Pocket, right? That's a nice move. So congrats to everyone who hit that. Let's look at Sheeb and see. Yeah, Sheeb is hanging on in around that 786, and we'll probably want to do that. Everyone else who holds it is like, could you please go up? It'd be nice for you to go up. Maybe why don't you throw everybody a little bit of maybe like 100% move would be nice. Sheeb, you got enough people watching you. It didn't really care in this preceding zone. I can laugh a little bit about it because we've all done very well on it. All right, we all had a lot of gains on Sheeb, the group as a whole. So as we look at this, it didn't really pay too much attention to everyone's wanting to do to do anything in terms of positive pricing this previous retrace there. So it would be a little it would be a nice surprise though if it decided to say, okay, fine, let's hit this up a little bit. I think the buyers are there. It's just the program, whatever program it's on, algorithmically is a little bit choosy, right? We'd probably say something along those lines to stay decent. So sushi, I really don't trade sushi. Let's see, the total is this total market cap excluding BTC. All right, anything we see particularly in here, probably just a small hit on the Fibonacci. Reminds me a lot of the Ethereum chart, to tell you the truth. Just looks almost picture perfect Ethereum and BNB chart. A little bit more conformant with I'd say with Ethereum. And what do we have? The end of it all would be XRP getting out of litigation. Wouldn't that be nice in 2022 for all of the people who just can't believe that XRP isn't the next greatest thing in terms of technology and crypto? It'd be so nice to see them get out of litigation. Wow, that would be amazing. I would like to see something like that. It'd be interesting. So as we go back to Bitcoin, let's just go through that. Let's just structure into ADA just for a minute, just so we cover some of these. We'll do a full-blown review of a lot of different coins at some point here soon. So I just draw this up about to the Golden Pocket with couple hits already. If we go to, and that's about 2 ground zero to tell you the truth. That's just a quick draw, but if we draw that down just a bit more, yeah, we're arguably just getting down exactly to that real, I'd say the ground zero is, I say the ground zero all the time, but that is that real I've measured up to the candle wicks and to absolute zero. So we've been along that 65th percentile in, and this is a crucial level for ADA. The next level down is going to be about that 65 to 68 cent mark. Okay, that's going to be a big blow to ADA. Potentially, if it decides to, if the buyers can't hold on to things, and I think the buyers have been, they've been dispersed quite a bit through the other great projects that have come down the pipeline, and ADA just hasn't, it's been there. It's been it's been that go-to smart contract, kind of a clean, nice community. ADA has a really positive vibe to it. I've liked it quite a bit. But I like something like ADA from from 4 or 5 cents. Not necessarily from like $1.20. Like 4 or 5 cents is great. So those projects that are coming up in 2022 that are sitting at their 4 or 5 cent mark now, that we think has that potential to go up to that $2-3 range, really what we're going to be focused on in VIP. That's really what I want to see happen, and not necessarily all. Not that there's anything wrong with a high utility dog coin. but I really would like to see some more instrumentality be placed into the utility function, the development function, and the management function of some of the projects that we choose in 2022. Okay, so that's us as a group. I think ADA fits squarely in that category of something that performed extraordinarily well. From, I mean, if you look at the really lower, but from 4 to 5 cents, right, in 2020, 4 to 5 cents up to $3. There's nothing wrong with the when I say there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, I can phrase it that way, and not to be a fan of ADA in that regard. I think it hung around this level for quite too long. That $1 to $1.20, it really frustrated up to this level for, in my opinion, too long. I really was frustrated. I wanted to see it get up and really move to the upside prior there too. But what I'll say is the incredible gains that a project like Cardano had really gives you the opportunity to involve yourself and to look for and be, I'd say, really be diligent in terms of which projects you choose to be a part of, right? And to elevate your game if you choose to, because people made money on Dogecoin, they made money on SHIB. Those were, I will say this technically, and in terms of trading, those coins are easier to trade, SHIB and Dogecoin, because there's so much market participation. Everyone is coming in droves. You talk about a bull run. You look at ADA, it's sat around for a while. Maybe there's institutional contracts going on. It's on a different program. When you get into Doge or SHIB, everybody's coming in, right? Everybody is knocking the doors down. So it makes the trading, you get some of those classic really bullish features. But it doesn't go without saying that, like from a 4 or 5 cent pickup, ADA is a masterpiece. It just really is. It's nice. And it's not the 1,000,000% gain that SHIB had, but it's of the level and caliber that we'd like to focus on as a group in 2022, without a doubt. That level of an investment, something similar to Cardano, and I'm looking forward to bringing that to the VIP in 2022. We've had a lot of success in 2021 with new projects, so that's what I will be working on. Let's look at Atom. Cosmos has been really nice. Again, similar to Harmony One, and we're just doing a general coin review. I know it's Bitcoin, but we're going to get back to that. As we look at this flat top, similar to Harmony One, but a little bit stronger in terms of Atom. Kind of fits in the framework of Phantom right now. Cosmos with Phantom. And let's see, Atom currently at $28.68. That flat top can be a huge friend to the market. I just tell you that. If we can, in terms of the bulls in the market and the holders of Atom, if we can repeat this to the upside, if buyers can continue to step in, it's just going to be a nice little journey up to $75. I'll just tell you that. The buyers have to step in, maintain this ascending line. We have to break out of the ascending triangle, but if we do, boom. Guys, that's 163%. So we talked about it. What was that? A little over about a 200% gain, about a 163% gain on those last couple of coins I just mentioned in there, right? One was Phantom. And let me measure that again in terms of that, just to make sure in terms of the other ascending triangle. 178. What was the other one with about a 200% gain? We'll go through that in 1 second. I may have to retrace that. So Phantom and Atom. Phantom is at 178, just to confirm these two. Phantom at 178, were to repeat that, and 178 for Phantom, and then Atom at almost the same, about 165% potential gains. I can go through and see which one we were just talking about. Wasn't Dot, wasn't Dusk. Where's Dusk at? Dusk. Well, Dusk is, and we may have to look at the different time frames on this. We may have done that already. Yeah, Dusk is kind of losing. This was the one that we equivalated, or we wanted to see the comparative with Dusk and Bitcoin, all right? Similar charts right now. We'll go through that 1 second here just to show you guys. I'm looking for kind of this double top feature. And let's see, that's DWAC. There's a little bit of equities going on. Just trying to formulate, like, where do, the question right now for everybody is, is Bitcoin going up? Everyone just wants to know. I think people are tired, a little bit tired of the retracement. It's like, the fatigue has set into the market. And as we would look on the right-hand side here with Bitcoin, what I like about Dusk on the left, just please pay attention. What I like about Dusk on the left is that Dusk has pulled off this pattern in a period of weeks. Okay, it's been just a short period of kind of weeks here. We can go back and measure this, right? This is 32 days. 1 month, Dusk has done this on the left. Now, Bitcoin has taken how long to do this on the right? And I'm just going to do this because in terms of comparative technicals, I always want to know, right? 403 days. Okay, so you're looking at well over a year versus a month. So if I can watch a pattern play out like this with a nice run-up feature here, you see kind of the bull flag in this area on that's on dusk on Bitcoin. Boom, bull flag, run up, double top, boom, run up, double top here, bam. So as we would look at this, I'm looking for deviations, one or the other. One is moving more quickly, and I just want to see, like, is there any? And it may not just be on dusk. Understand, right? It may be on any. And dusk has had great price action recently, right? In these last 30 days, it has gotten up and out. As you guys would know that, as the market has been not doing much. Just look at it, guys, 450%, right? So it's been in the last couple of months, 450%, retraced a bit since then. But as I would look at it comparatively, I'm always trying to find different pattern sets to be able to do those comparative analytics so that I can bring you guys. I may not always tell you, well, hey, this one just did this same thing. You guys watching them, I mean, sometimes, I don't know. I want you guys to tell me sometimes, hey, I found this pattern. It's worked its way over in like 5 straight cryptos, and guess what, London? I'm going to tell you, I want you to trade it, and you're going to go make some cash. I don't know. No one's telling me that. Sometimes Angel will throw me a bone and say, why don't you check out this and that? I'm like, okay, thanks, Angel. I'll go look at that. Or Freddie's got an idea, or AJ Crypto's got an idea, or Kent Giffords got I don't know who's got an idea. So as we would look at this, let's look at Doge. Doge. What happened to Doge? I don't know, but I'm going to say this. If SHIB, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If SHIB goes for this long of a time period, all right, I just want to know. Look at this. This is 272 days. Doge essentially from the top, right? If SHIB decides to go 272 days, is everybody going to forget about SHIB? I want to know because we traded the bull pennant, okay, 2 bull pennants. We're at put another 150 days, put another 6 months on SHIB during retracement. Just try it. I want to know who's going to forget about it. All right, because when I talk about it then and it's unpopular, people aren't going to want to hear about SHIB. All right, when I talk about SHIB down in this level, people are going to go to another channel. I guarantee you. I promise you. When I talk about SHIB in this channel and I'm live streaming and other places, people turn it off. Even the people who made money on SHIB would turn it off. Now, I don't want to hear about that. That's not going up right now. Okay, well, we hit the first bull pennant on SHIB. We hit the secondary bull pennant on SHIB. So when I discuss it, in the regard of if it does drag on, it's like it becomes a boring topic if it's not going up 100% this week, this month. And it's just interesting because people operate as if they have to make it this month or this week again, and like they're making 100% every day or 20% every day right now. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I know traders quite a bit, and they work very hard to make the returns that they do. Right, finding price action is a part of that, but the overall game plan in terms of staying focused throughout the year as we look at 2022 is recognizing that this stretch in here for SHIB was really hugely important. Right, that figures in with the technicals, 138 days. Okay, so just if you guys decide to change the station, etc. No big deal. It's just the psychology of the market. And a lot of people right now with the retracement are tired, right? They're just a little bit fatigued in terms of this recapture of the falling wedge. Nice to see that. And I'm going to go ahead and have one more sip of coffee. We'll conclude things up here unless anyone has anything to say, any other topics you want me to cover. And then otherwise, I'll just cover the information in the back. Nice to see AXS with a little bit of price action. Now, give me about 2 seconds for a sip of coffee. Thank you. So, yes, in terms of, it's great coffee. Thank you, guys. In terms of the retracement, we have some fatigue setting, and I'm going to close it out with this so that you guys can get a little bit excited about where we're at right now. Not too excited, but a little bit excited about where we're at. There are 2 components that we have in the favor right now of Bitcoin. There are 2 things that are really kind of quintessential right now. One, we're just coming off a hit on the 50% retracement. This hit sticks, or we have the golden pocket. I'm excited about the golden pocket. In the meantime, okay, or in the midst thereof, we would have an area that would act as resistance for anyone short. All right, it would act as resistance for anyone short. Okay, trying to get down to the golden pocket would be this prior confluent area here, around in the 30s, right, 29,000 up through that 33, really. But the fact that we have the 50% retracement is a big deal. Okay, that 50% retracement is a big deal. It's a big level to hit. Okay, that was the level that we hit and really carved into in this area. We'd like to prevent, if possible, if it's required, no problem. We'd like to prevent a 60 to 70 day level in this area. If it comes at us, we will deal with it exactly the way we dealt with this one. We loved finding this bottom, 29,750. We loved bringing that up and just saying, yeah, it's time for bull, let's roll. We enjoyed that, right? So if the market makes us exhibit a bit of patience, that's fine. No problem. We have the 50% retracement in our favor right now in terms of Bitcoin. What's the other thing we have on the? We're going to go on the weekly for this. Okay, on the weekly, what else do we have? Well, on the weekly, we just slammed into this orange line, which is that 100. Okay, the 100 weekly moving average. What do we have below it? Below it, we have the 200 weekly moving average. Okay, so that'll be the kind of the backup level. If you want to say, okay, maybe we have a backup level, bam. We're right now on the 100, a backup level for you to consider in terms of additional cash exposure at a lower level could be that 200 weekly feature. So, and that 200 is something we've talked about for a long time. So that's no surprise there. Well, guys, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you being here. We will, I always say this, but we'll try and get to a more accommodating time frame at some point in the future because I know you guys are probably hanging out. We could just hang out, but I really should try and get these done a little bit better. Wherein like Freddie, because I know Freddie was exhausted, so maybe that's not nice that Freddie wasn't able to be here. I just and thank you, Elias Abosdel. Thank you for subscribing. That's nice. Appreciate you subscribing. But yeah, in terms of the timing, etc., and maybe it's good that we finish a little bit early because maybe tomorrow is Sunday and you guys have some things to be doing tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe you do or maybe you don't. But if you don't, maybe you do have time with family or something like that. Because today is Sunday, right? Maybe so it's the weekend before people have to go to work and all that stuff. And so yeah, enjoy yourselves, guys. Nice to see this recapture into this falling wedge. Bam, very nice. And I know the unfortunate thing also is that YouTube probably only sends out notifications. Honestly, only sends out notifications like every 10 seconds to different people. Do you guys know that happens? Whoever's listening, it'll send out notifications, and I probably have to tell people that I am streaming because you guys don't know that YouTube does that. YouTube will flash out notifications of my streaming to like 10 people. And then it will do another, like in 30 minutes, it'll get it to another 10 people. And then it'll do another 30 minutes, another 10 people. So that's really exciting, isn't it? Thank you, YouTube. We appreciate you, honestly, for the platform that you provide us because I can't find a better platform out there. It's really exciting to be able to engage with our community. And if you have decided that that's best in terms of the entirety of, what all they're going through and, in terms of, I don't know, the dynamics. I'm sure there's a lot of dynamics that you've built into those studies as to how you alert people. And if there is no dynamic like that, I'd appreciate it being changed to the dynamic where we have a bigger crowd because I don't want VIP to miss anything. That's how we are, and I don't want you, but you do what you need to do in your offices. I'm sure that you do. So we're excited about that as well. So as we would look at the recapture, I just hate that fact that maybe only like 10 people every 15 minutes get a notification that we're streaming. Okay, that's fine. But that doesn't do a lot for our traders who are sitting there, and they're probably doing whatever. Who knows? But they may not be getting notifications. So we will try and hit this back on a better hour. But what I will say is that for those of you who are trading, continue to trade, right? Don't back down from the market. Nice to see this is perfection. Just in terms of the technicals. That's exactly, I could not have asked for anything better in line with our pricing targets. If you hit your targets on this or anything else, congratulations. But these two targets, particularly on Bitcoin, we really pride ourselves on being correct on Bitcoin quite a bit, and it's just nice to see that these two levels have played, that we've recaptured the falling wedge, and let's go get ready for a great Sunday, and we'll do that, and then we will reconvene. Maybe I'll even get with YouTube and say, how do I make sure all the guys are getting the alerts for the live stream as they're occurring? Because I would hate people just to be, there are 5 alerts sent out every 10 minutes or something like that as people would stroll in. So, and part of that may be because maybe we're very choosy about who's here. It's a VIP exclusive. It just really is. You guys know that I work very hard for that. So um, profits, right? At some point, you would be looking at profit potential in these areas, just in line with the retracement. It's been a difficult retracement. We're getting up into these levels not only on the 1 hour, but on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, yes, on the 1 hour, we have the two levels, the 200 and the 100, right? The 200 is going to be, let me just lean into this. Okay, the 200 is going to be this purple line. The 100 is going to be the orange line. We are currently above both of them. That is dangerous territory as you look at the entirety of the history on the 1 hourly. It's just, I'd say it's strong territory, but we haven't wanted to maintain any strength really. There's been areas above it, okay? We can say 1, 2, really? There's 2 times. Really 3. This is the only time we did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of like 20 hits along that area, we have one real section that decided to really take off at that level above the 200. That 200 is the purple, okay? So that's crucial. Just watch that level, and to the extent that this is the home run time, we have the 50% retracement. The good thing about having double down behind you, okay, about having that backup heavy reserve cash is you can afford to push it here, right? And it's a nice entry at the 50% retracement. I would say that to anybody. I'm saying that to you now. It's a nice entry at the 50% retracement, always with the ability to double down at lower levels. That's just it. And it's not a tagline. It's not anything else. Would I, like I just bring up Freddie as an example. Like I spend a lot of time with him in the back. How many times has he bought and sold here? Like, don't ask. It's just, it's not even, it's like, no, it's not a cop out for me to say, well, this is a good entry. I'll say that, but if you spend a lot of time with me, you've probably bought and sold 3 or 4 times. Okay, so we'd like to trade for the average investor that's just not just wanting to get involved with Bitcoin. I've got some people that have been contacting me lately, in terms of a good time to get involved. It's always a good time to get involved in Bitcoin. It's just the question is going to be at what price for you, and that's going to be a real big thing as we continue to go forward. We'll look for some more pattern identification. I'm still prepared to listen to this, please. I'm still prepared to operate in the entirety of this green zone. Okay, so this green zone may be down in this level as well. I'll just say that. Okay, so ideally it would be great to just continue to go to the moon. I am just prepared to operate in here personally, okay, in this zone. So we'll talk to you soon, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be in the back if you guys have any questions, and those of you who have my cell phone, etc., I'll be around for any questions like that as well. Shoot me a text. I look forward to hearing from any of you guys. We'll talk soon. I hope you're doing so well, and we'll talk later, guys. It's going to be a good week, and I look forward to spending it with you guys. Take care of yourselves. This is London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin.